Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop Never stop Never stop dreaming.
Welcome into the Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show, everybody, which is sponsored by Roush Coleman Homes. The Spartans go on the road. They whitewashed Putnam City after having a week off, and now non-district play is done, and it's time to bite into the main part of the schedule when it comes to the conference, your district. This time to get after it. Lauren Montgomery joins us here on the show, and Lauren, your team really was in sync.
Yeah, I was proud of our guys for coming out and taking care of business. After a week off, you always kind of question, how your guys are going to come back, because 2 weeks is a long time without playing. And I thought our guys practiced well and then came out and executed extremely well from the get-go, and then we were able to get some of our younger guys into the game fairly early in the game.
Well, and you've had a little taste of everything in your non-district. Obviously, you had a chance to go play in Texas. You had Jenks and then finish off with Putnam City. You've seen a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, our non-district schedule starts off very tough, and we think that prepares us for our schedule down the road in our district. And, our goal is always to be playing our best ball as we head into the playoffs, and getting to play such high-caliber teams early in the year really, really helps us with that.
And you're about to finally get home.
Yeah, thank goodness. The schedule this year is a little different than it typically is, and so we're going into week 4, and this will be our first home game.
All right, we'll talk about that, military appreciation night, all that. Preparing, you had some time, extra time, to kind of get some guys healed up, but you also had to keep at it and have good practices. And let's talk about your practice players of the week.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, we have so many guys that are practicing well right now, but Tyler Parsons, senior defensive end, he was our player of the week on the show a couple weeks ago, but just giving us a great look at defensive end in practice, as well as Isaac Gibson, a wide receiver, a junior wide receiver for us, who's been working his tail off, giving us a good look. And we have so many kids with good attitudes that are selfless, that are really coming together to make our team better as a unit.
All right, Chick-fil-A sponsors our practice players of the week. So the Spartans go on the road. They have been road tested, definitely. Another business trip. This one down in Oklahoma City. We're going to have first half highlights when we come back.
The Bixby Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Roush Coleman Homes, improving quality of life, one home at a time. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken. Primo Mitsubishi, where the value always exceeds price. Midwest Sporting Goods, put some Midwest best on you. Nowlin Orthodontics, live life smiling. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love for the game. Doc's Country Mart, check us out at okcountrymart.com. BTC Broadband, stay connected with us. Billings Construction Group, our service is unequaled. Matthews Ford, come get your Ford certified vehicle today. And by Baker Pools.
For most buyers nowadays, energy efficiency is one of the top things on their list. At Roush Coleman, it's a top priority for us, and our customers are able to live in one of the most energy efficient new homes built. As a result of that, you're going to see that those utility bills are less than anything else you're going to see with a used home or an apartment that you live in.
Well, it's been a busy day of college football. Let's get caught up on the action. First up, Alabama. This play right here shows what eating chicken will do for you. Lots of broken tackles here. It's the chicken.
No idea what you're talking about.
Joey Galloway is here with chicken predictions.
My what?
Touchdown chicken.
Okay, are we filming right now?
Chicken, 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 chicken.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird.
New management.
Start your game day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
Henry Primo for Primo Mitsubishi. We're proud to be a sponsor of Bixby football. I hope you'll show your support of Coach Montgomery and the team. They're champions just like we are at Primo Mitsubishi. So come see me, Primo Mitsubishi, 15309 South Memorial, Bixby.
Welcome back. Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show, sponsored by Roush Coleman Homes. So the Spartans on the road again in non-district play, 3 straight. This one you finish up in Oklahoma City down there in Putnam City, the classic Putnam City, and it's a team that struggling right now, but it wasn't that long ago they had risen up and were playing some pretty good football.
No, we've made a few trips down to that stadium and been into some dogfights. You know, won our first trip down there years ago, I think in 2013, and then a couple years ago in 2017, we come away with a 37-35 loss. And so we know it's a tough place to play. We know that they had some guys that could go the distance if we didn't show up where we were supposed to. And so we were looking forward to going and getting our heads on straight and getting back in the win column.
All right, and it was threatening rain. There was a little bit of light rain, but let's get into those first half highlights and look at the nice, cool evening is what it turned out to be there at Putnam City Stadium.
Yeah, it was a great evening for football right here, and you'll see the quarterback run and Owen DeWoody from his defensive end position doing an excellent job. Bear Daniel, Brody Sarton, a couple of our linebackers in on great pursuit right there, end up making the tackle, and the speed sweep right there. Carson Chambers from his outside linebacker position is really coming on, doing some good stuff. And Mason gets a little pressure right there and ends up scrambling and picking up the first down and drops back right here and finds Luke Krieger on the fade route. Luke does a nice job going up and getting the ball and then showing off his speed and getting in the end zone. As Mason will mention, we didn't know if we were going to have Luke, and so it was good to have him on Friday night. He got some stitches in his hand and was able to get those out on Thursday and play. See Mason Van Pelt, senior nose guard, starting this year for the first time, doing an excellent job up inside. Great blocking out here on the edge by Trevin Holt for Brennan Presley as he tight ropes the sidelines on the bubble screen. Brennan having a big night. I think he only got tackled one time all evening long. And that defense swarming in again. One of our practice players of the week, you'll see there, Tyler Parsons, in from his defensive end position, doing a nice job. We were in the pin and pull play right there. Trevin doing a great job blocking again, and Braden Presley into the end zone for his first touchdown of the night. You'll see our defense swarming to the ball, doing a good job. Tyler Parsons in there, Carson Chambers rallying around the ball. A lot of guys in on the tackle. Throw the screen pass or the swing pass out here. And Barry Daniel tackles from his outside linebacker position. The speed sweep coming back to Brennan Presley right here. You'll see his brother Braylon out blocking for him. Got all our guys, Jordan Reagan, down the field blocking, doing a nice job getting Brennan a seam for another touchdown right there. Brennan's so electric with the ball in his hands. Bear Daniel getting great pursuit. Nick Waddell here on a great open field tackle right there. Bringing their guys down. And then right here, Jordan Reagan had a stressful week. His mom, in the hospital, having some brain surgery, believe it or not. So it was so good to see him make an interception right there and cap his week off. And good news there for him. After that surgery, everything went well. So right there, defense continuing to swarm. Starting to get some new guys in the game. Mason Williams does a good job scrambling right here. Finding Brennan Presley on the crossing route. Good block by Bear Daniel down the field, springing the sidelines once again for another Brennan Presley touchdown. Putnam City drops back right here, and you'll see Carson Chambers jumping up from his outside linebacker position. Kind of a punt that we were petering wanting to get away from, and then the ball just bounces right to Brennan, so he decides to field it right here. And then returns it for a 60-yard punt return, and he's showing off his good speed right there, getting some blocking, everything like that. And so probably a busted play. I don't know if that's something we'd advise him to do, but gosh, man, when the ball's in Brendan's hands, he makes things happen. See Nick Waddell in from his linebacker position right there on an excellent tackle. Running the sweep here, Owen DeWoody, the defense just swarming. It's good to see those guys flying around as fast as they are right now. Cody Pascal with a great block for Braylon Presley down the left side. Then we run the pin and pull play once again, and then Mason elects to hit the slant route out off the edge on the RPO to Luke Krieger, and Luke Krieger there for a touchdown. You'll see Bear Daniel in from his defensive position. Senior Trip Brown right there in making a tackle, getting in the books right there, getting in the stats. Good job, Trip. Good to see some of those guys in getting some work. Kobe Williams from his guard position on the kick-out blocker and the counter play. Doing a good job at that offensive line, getting a good push, getting a good crease right there. Some good blocking all the way down the field. You'll see Steven Dreyer with a knockdown block down the field. It's good to see that offensive line moving around right here. Dalton Perry leading the way, senior offensive lineman, good block down the field. And then we run the power play, and once again, Dalton pulling around, picks up the play side linebacker, and Braylon just punches that thing in. See a lot of guys, senior Tyron Robb, you'll see Blake Hasselman in on the tackle, lots of guys playing hard, playing fast. Nick Waddell in on that, and that's going to take us to a halftime score of 65-0.
All right, so the Spartans rolling in Putnam City, and we'll have a second half of highlights when we come back.
For most buyers nowadays, energy efficiency is one of the top things on their list. At Roush Coleman, it's a top priority for us, and our customers are able to live in one of the most energy efficient new homes built. As a result of that, you're going to see that those utility bills are less than anything else you're going to see with a used home or an apartment that you live in.
I've been a proud patient of Dr. Ryan Nallens for the past 5 years with my kids. He really only treats when it's time and he's ready. We came back later and he put braces on my son, who just got them off last week. His teeth look amazing.
Now in orthodontics, we're different. I think the first thing you notice when you walk in the door is going to be an energy and enthusiasm and of a team that really loves what we do, and we like to have fun every day.
On game day, football players aren't the only ones suiting up. Our crew's ready for any play.
Yeah, can I get one box? Extra sauce and toast. Hydrated Idaho, tailgate to go.
So that's a box combo with extra cane sauce, Texas toast, fresh squeezed lemonade with crinkle cut fries, and a 25-finger tailgate?
Nailed it!
Football is just part of who we are. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Welcome back. It's the Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show, sponsored by Roush Coleman Homes on the road at Putnam City. Sponsored big first half, say that 65-0. Spartans on top at that point. And we'll get into those second half highlights.
Yeah, let's take a look. They had talked to us a little bit about running the clock here in the second half, and so we knew there were a lot of guys who were going to want to get into the game, and we'd have to do it quickly because that clock right there, you'll see Ethan Watkins from his nose guard position in on the mess and up inside right there. And then we got some new guys in on the offensive line. You'll see Trip Brown, Kobe Lakin down the field blocking, got a whole bunch of guys mixing it up, getting a great crease right there. I believe that was Braylon Presley still in at running back. And then right here, I think Dakota Davis in at running back right there. And we got several guys. Oh, excuse me, that was Connor Stacy in there. And then we throw the pivot route right here to Preston Solomon, and he's able to get into the end zone. So we got some guys doing some really good stuff right here. You'll see a host of defensive players, Isaac Sherman and some of the guys getting in on a tackle. Great pressure up inside right there. There's just nowhere to breathe if you're Putnam City in that situation. Set up a screen right here. This is Dakota Davis. And then got some good down the field blocking from some of those offensive linemen, getting him down the field, running a little bit. You'll see several of the guys up inside, Isaac Sherman getting great penetration, Chandler Rogers. Good to see some of those guys getting some work in. Brock Roller in at tailback. That time getting a little work, and I think we're back to the Connor Stacy show right here on the stretch out of the edge. Justice Jeffords in blocking. Good to see some of those guys in, mixing it up, blocking down the field, holding their blocks, and that's going to go ahead and take us, as we mentioned, a quick second half to a 72-0 final, and just thrilled at the way our guys came out and executed and took care of business.
All right, leads us to our final stats, which are provided by Primo Mitsubishi.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the score of 72-0. We had 15 first downs. Putnam City had 4. 417 yards of total offense on the night. 247 through the air to 170. Penalties, we're a little high in the penalties category. We had 7 for 75 yards to their 6. And then we won the turnover margin again with 1 turnover, and Putnam City Original had 2. Passing, Mason Williams had another great night, 6 of 7 for 229 and 5 touchdowns. His only drop was his only incompletion was a drop the first play of the game. Rushing, Braylon Presley, 2 for 27 yards. Zach Blankenship with a big night, 6 for 59 yards, almost averaging 10 yards a carry. Receiving, Brendan Presley had 3 receptions for 155 yards and 3 touchdowns. Luke Krieger had 2 receptions for 70, and Preston Solomon 1 for 12 and his first varsity touchdown. Tackles, couple safeties leading us on the evening. Tanner Doyle with 7 tackles. Trevin Holt with 6. Nick Waddell 5, and Bear Daniel 5. So I should also mention in special teams, Reese Vernon was 7 for 7 on his extra points. And all of his kickoffs but one were touchbacks. So it's good that the kicking game is getting us some hidden yardage as well.
All right, so all the phases of the game going well at Putnam City. And we talk about you getting a lot of younger kids in, getting some experience, and really, I would imagine, too, on the line, you're able to get some new guys in and get them some actual game situations.
Yeah, and that's just so important. We've got a big roster this year. We've got over 90 guys, and so we've got a lot of guys that are going to help us down the road that are JV-type players right now. In fact, here, not this week, but next week, we're going to play 2 JV games. We'll play one against Sapulpa's JV, and then here we'll also have kind of a sophomore game or a second JV game with some of Broken Arrow's guys because gosh, right now we're in a situation where we have a whole lot of guys that might not be a starter on the JV night, but we know are going to be good players down the road. And so it's important that we're always working, trying to develop those players so that there's no drop-off when you have a guy like Noah West or Kobe Tillman or Ethan Hall graduate and move on down the road. We got a guy ready to jump in and fill those shoes.
A good problem to have, numbers.
Yes, it's a great problem to have.
All right, now Sapulpa is a team that has developed. Right now they are undefeated, and that's your first home game. So we get into district play against the Chieftains, Military Appreciation Night, which I know they always do a great job with. But let's talk about the Chieftains just off the top.
Yeah, well, you know, it all goes around their quarterback, Eli Williams, who's committed to Texas Christian. And then they've got another skill guy who was just a sophomore last year, number 7, hasn't played up to this point. He's had a small injury. We understand that he'll be back, and he's a real difference maker. I've heard people compare him to Brennan Presley. And then, you know, I tell you, a team that they made the playoffs last year for the first time in a long time, gave Midwest City all they wanted. Coach Borgstead has breathed a ton of air into that program over there, and he's got them playing well. Looking at film, you can't really find a lot of weak spots. So we're looking forward to, like we mentioned, our first home game, and then having an opponent like Sapulpa to start off district. It's going to be a real challenging week of practice.
And Military Appreciation Night, always something special. There's a lot of things that go into that, and your athletic department, your school puts a lot into that.
Yeah, it's so cool. You know, Whitney Allen puts that on. She runs that show for us, and she'll have World War II bombers flying over. She's going to have a veterans dinner honoring the veterans, and then this year there are even going to be fireworks in the field back behind the stadium when the players run out of the tunnel. And so it's going to be a sight for sore eyes. It's going to be a really neat presentation and opportunity for all our players to honor veterans and their families.
All right, that's 7 o'clock on Friday night. So the Spartans and the Chieftains, that's the first home game. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. When we come back, we'll have our Player of the Week.
For most buyers nowadays, energy efficiency is one of the top things on their list. At Roush Coleman, it's a top priority for us, and our customers are able to live in one of the most energy efficient new homes built. As a result of that, you're going to see that those utility bills are less than anything else you're going to see with a used home or an apartment that you live in.
Well, it's been a busy day of college football. Let's get caught up on the action. First up, Alabama. This play right here shows what eating chicken will do for you. Lots of broken tackles here. It's the chicken.
No idea what you're talking about.
Joey Galloway is here with chicken predictions.
My what?
Touchdown chicken.
Okay, are we filming right now?
Chicken, 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 chicken.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird.
New management.
Start your game day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
Henry Primo for Primo Mitsubishi. We're proud to be a sponsor of Bixby football. I hope you'll show your support of Coach Montgomery and the team. They're champions, just like we are at Primo Mitsubishi. So come see me, Primo Mitsubishi, 15309 South Memorial, Bixby.
I've been a proud patient of Dr. Ryan Allen's for the past 5 years with my kids. He really only treats when it's time and he's ready. We came back later and he put braces on my son, who just got them off last week. His teeth look amazing.
Now in orthodontics, we're different. I think the first thing you notice when you walk in the door is going to be an energy and enthusiasm and of a team that really loves what we do, and we like to have fun every day.
Welcome back, and it's time for our Now in Orthodontics Player of the Week, and it's junior quarterback Mason Williams. Mason, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, let's talk about your night the other night, 5 touchdown passes against Putnam City.
Yes, sir. I mean, coming into the game, you know, we were a little down, struggled a little bit, but we preached throughout the week to keep our heads right and stuff. And especially Coach Snyder preaches to the quarterbacks. If we know it's going to be a game like this, maybe try to be as perfect as we can. The rest will take care of itself.
Let's talk about your receivers. You have a really full complement of receivers out there. You've got some game breakers, and Luke Krieger's really developing as well.
Yes, sir. I mean, we didn't even know if he was going to play this week because he had an injury in the weight room on his finger, but he got it wrapped up pretty well, and he made a couple touchdown catches for himself, so that was good.
Okay. Now, you have anybody that lobbies for more catches?
Brennan's always out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are coming up still.
All right, offensively, overall, how do you feel like this unit's coming together?
I think it's coming together really well. I mean, I saw something. We have like 200 and something points already in the first 3 games. So I think we've done pretty well there.
Now, you run every once in a while as needed, and you got some quicks out there. You enjoy running the ball as well as throwing it deep?
I do like running the ball a lot, but I mean, when I was younger, I loved running the ball, but as you get older, you don't get as many chances to run the ball. So when I see it, I usually take opportunity of it.
All starts up front, your offensive line. Those guys really seem to have gelled in the first few weeks.
Oh, yes, sir. They've done pretty well. I mean, I preach to them all the time to keep up the good work, and I think they've done pretty well so far.
Okay, outstanding. Now, your preparation for this year, what did you do over the summer to really work? I know you had spa. There were some other things that you did off time to go out and throw.
I think we do a lot of things as a team, and we have passing league during the week. We did a couple 7-on-7 tournaments, and even a couple times I'll get some of the guys out there on the field and just throw by ourselves too.
Okay, now we talked about this last time, but baseball, obviously, another big part of your life. And you kind of have, with both sports, a little bit different mentality. But how much do you enjoy baseball?
I like baseball, but I mean, as the years go on, I mean, I question a little bit more, especially because it does a lot of wear and tear on my arm because I throw a lot. But I think I'll continue playing.
All right, now football, we'll get back to that. The rest of the year shaping up, you're now getting into district play, and you got Sepulpa up first.
Yes, sir. I'm very excited for this game. I'm going to prepare very well for this team. I think it'll be an exciting game, especially for our first home game.
Yeah, it's good to finally get back home. All right, best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
All right, Mason Williams, our Now in Orthodontics Player of the Week. We're going to come back and talk about the younger guys, our Midwest Sporting Goods Youth Team of the Week.
For most buyers nowadays, energy efficiency is one of the top things on their list. At Roush Coleman, it's a top priority for us, and our customers are able to live in one of the most energy efficient new homes built. As a result of that, you're going to see that those utility bills are less than anything else you're going to see with a used home or an apartment that you live in.
Henry Primo for Primo Mitsubishi. We're proud to be a sponsor of Bixby football. I hope you'll show your support of Coach Montgomery and the team. They're champions, just like we are at Primo Mitsubishi. So come see me, Primo Mitsubishi, 15309 South Memorial, Bixby.
I've been a proud patient of Dr. Ryan Nallens for the past 5 years with my kids. He really only treats when it's time and he's ready. We came back later and he put braces on my son, who just got them off last week. His teeth look amazing.
Now in orthodontics, we're different. I think the first thing you notice when you walk in the door is going to be an energy and enthusiasm and of a team that really loves what we do, and we like to have fun every day.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
We're back, and it's time for a Midwest Sporting Goods Youth Team of the Week. We're going to head to 5th grade this time. 5th grade Red, and the head coach, John Coffey, is here with us on the show. John, welcome in.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, let's talk about your football team, and this year, your first year to take over as the head coach. What's that been like?
You know, it's been a little stressful, been a little fun. I learned a lot as a head coach. A lot more goes on behind the scenes than I really thought about. But you know, we've been with the team since 1st grade, so it's you know, a lot of the same people been with us since first grade, so it's a lot of fun.
Team's had a lot of success, really, from first grade on.
Oh,
and
yes,
in third
sir.
grade, you won the whole thing.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to get into some highlights, take a look at some offensive and defensive highlights. We'll start with the offense and kind of talk about what your offense brings to the table, some of the key players.
Okay, well, I mean, the best thing about our offense, really to start out is our offensive line. We've got a great offensive line coach in Jeff Machado, played at Oklahoma State. So he really has a great way of breaking it down, how to fire off the ball, use your hands properly. We find that a lot of folks at this age aren't focusing on the line as much as we think they should, and so we really try to develop those boys into being, better linemen. Now we know they may not be linemen forever, right? But with the rules that some of these guys, they really flourish on the line for now in the little league realm. But you got guys like Austin Vaughn, Landon Tynehart, you got Jack Gill, your son, you've got Slade Waddell out there that laying blocks, and Rodney Flowers' son with Caden Flowers. I mean, we've got just we are truly blessed with talent across the board. So.
Yeah, and Seeger and Ben Puckett.
Ben Puckett, yeah, and Jake and Pierce on the line. I mean, you've got, like I said, I could go through. We don't have enough time. I could go through and talk about each one of these boys and how special each one of them really are.
Defensively, this team can really put the clamps on people too.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, our defense coordinator Jeff Sager. I mean, he's put together a really good defensive scheme. We run it's like a 5-2 with a monster back, so 5-3 every now and again, and we just attack the football. I mean, these kids are just ball hawks. I mean, they go after the football all day, so it's really hard to gain any yards on us.
All right, now even up really on the season, coming off a big blowout though against Wagner. You got a lot of kids involved.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have 24 kids on our team, which is a lot to rotate through, but we try to get them all in as much as we possibly can and teach them all the skills that they need to be successful.
Well, the one thing that your team does as well, and you have a great coaching staff. I think you mentioned some of the guys, but it seems you guys are really interested in the kids as individuals and helping them grow up a little bit.
Most definitely. All of us have those experiences with those coaches, right, that we just absolutely loved and adored throughout. So we want to make sure that we're teaching the life lessons that are really important about the game of football and just team sports period. We talk about being a family, holding each other up, getting each other's back, picking each other up when we're down. So these boys, I can honestly say that they're very selfless. They play for each other. They play for Bixby Red. It's really, really fun to watch.
All right, well, good luck rest of the year, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, John Coffey, 5th grade Red, our Midwest Sporting Goods Team of the Week. That's going to put the wraps on this show. The high school finally opens up at home. Military Appreciation Night. It's Friday night at Lee Snyder, 7 o'clock. And, of course, the Spartans taking on the Sepulpa Chieftains. Have a great week, everybody.
The Bixby Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Roush Coleman Homes. Improving quality of life, one home at a time. Chick-fil-A. Eat more chicken. Primo Mitsubishi, where the value always exceeds price. Midwest Sporting Goods. Put some Midwest best on you. Now in Orthodontics. Live life smiling. Tulsa Bone and Joint. Moving life forward. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love for the game. Doc's Country Mart. Check us out at okcountrymart.com. BTC Broadband. Stay connected with us. Billings Construction Group. Our service is unequaled. Matthews Ford. Come get your Ford certified vehicle today. And by Baker Pools.